and welcome to your favorite podcast of the Temple Shalom League, the video capsule recaps of your Mets. Second half of the season. Yes, sir. Some teams are just making their calculations to be on the big boys playoff. We the Mets are not necessarily where we wanted to be. We're 5 and 9. Nonetheless, we have the right set of gals and guys to turn this ship around, have a winning and positive record in the second half, and try to claim one of those four spots. And if not, well, we have tons of experience when it comes to be playing in the minis and do the Mets ball. And Mets ball is precisely what we're going to be playing moving forward. And we have the right set of talent to do so. And we actually, in spite of losing two games this past Sunday against the Brewer, we decided to have a small mini gathering celebration to celebrate my birthday. Not a big fan of doing things, speaking about myself, but of course, I couldn't say no to the kids and the wife who brought it. So I'll let you enjoy this small video.
Mierda, pero me estoy quemando los dedos y no prende. Okay, let's start. I guess. Yeah, it's too windy. No, esa vela está jodida, no prende. Let's just start on it. Okay, go ahead. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Papa. Happy birthday to you. Hey! Do it. Turning 29 today. Yo, baby. Dale, Mateo, dale. No. Push. Empújalo.
Hacia arriba, papi.
Yeah, get it, Mateo.
No,
You got it.
no,
Push.
Así, hacia arriba. Dale. 1, 2, 3. También no sirve.
Ahora recoge, Leo. Leo, ahora.
Cupcake time! I have to So who's the guy that's messed up?
Yep.
It'll go away.
Yep. With a ring.
Can anyone throw this away?
And the trash can over there.
Nice moment. And I'm very grateful to have the opportunity to spend my first ever birthday at a Sunday Shalom game. Speaking about special memories, this following interview with one of my dear friends and one of the few guys that I have shared the field in the championship series, Mr. Walk, Rohit Wulhati, will be the one that we're gonna be showcasing you right after this segment. But also, speaking about special moment, the Mets are going to be facing the Yankees this upcoming Sunday. So that means that both teams are going to be playing for the New York City Cup. Yes, I know it's not the Bob Winefield Trophy, but it's very remarkable. And the team that actually ends up winning is going to grab this trophy and take it home until next year when we face again. Without further ado, let's go into your live interview section.
Hi, we're in the 7th edition of the live interview section today with a dear friend, a former teammate, and one of my favorite guys to talk about baseball in general, Rohit Gulhati. Welcome, Rohit.
Thanks a lot. Great to be here.
So, like I said, I played with Rohit a while ago in many teams. Actually, the other championship that I played was with him in 2017. I've been thinking, so we know each other for a long. Rohit, I'm starting this section of the interviews by asking you, what are your expectations with the Blue Jays, and especially what does it feel to play with the Burros?
Yeah, so first time playing with the Burros, and they've got a solid team up and down. Not too many power hitters. We got good defense, good speed. It hasn't been clicking yet, but I feel like with Shalom, the season's long enough, so there's a chance to come back and finish near the top, if not in the middle. That's fine too.
And be a championship material, as all the other 20 teams, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like I said, we know each other for a while, and one thing that we like to do a lot is actually talk about baseball, right? Especially when we were kids and watching that baseball on TV. So this might be tricky, this question, but I want to hear from you. What is one thing that you like from the old school baseball that you don't see it happening this way? And the other way around, one thing that is happening these days in the new baseball that you should have, or we wish to see on the old school baseball?
Sure, yeah. Yeah, I think so. One of the things I always tell people is like, hey, don't be the old guy. right? Because we're always like, oh, it used to be better in my day. It used to be better in my day. Every generation does that. So I try my best to look at the benefits of how things have changed now versus what it used to be. So to answer the first part, I think I definitely miss like the contact type plays. The kinds of plays where there's a lot of action going
Or
on,
like
right?
bunting or something like
Well,
that.
well, not necessarily bunting, but just being able to make contact. So there's
Okay.
things going on, right? Like, so for example, I think the Korean style baseball, Japanese style
Hmm.
baseball, that's just a lot of fun because there's always something going on, right? So I definitely miss that part from the old school baseball. But I do understand why things have changed, and it's really tough now with the pitching, right?
For
I mean,
sure.
like
That speed. Yep.
everybody throws 95, which 95 used to be, one or two guys, right? Now everybody throws 95 or above. So I always say I don't understand how Major League Baseball hitters can hit the ball consistently at all. Like I don't know, like Aaron Judge and guys like that, when they're hitting 360 bombs against pitching like this, where you don't get to face the same pitchers 4 or 5 times in a game. I don't know how they do it, but they're superhuman. But I don't know in terms of like what I like now compared to the old one. I don't want to say anything bad about this style of baseball,
Mhm.
but I can't think of any one thing that I like better now than the older style.
Well, one thing that comes to mind to me is that sometimes I think we wasted way too much time throwing to first,
Right.
and that limitation in two throws. I know that then you have an advantage to steal bases, but I mean, we actually joke about pitchers just throwing another set of game just to first
Right.
base, right?
Right.
Although I benefit when I was in first.
Yeah, that one
That's
I agree with actually. So yeah, in terms of like the rules, I'm glad they made the changes in terms of clocks and time limits and things like that. The game is just more manageable. You can, for example, be like, okay, I'm gonna go get some food or whatever. You know
exactly.
exactly how much time you have in between.
Yep.
Between plays. Whereas before, like you said, the guy would just keep throwing to first base, and you're like, when are we gonna
When does
get
it
this
end?
started
Yep,
again? Yeah,
exactly. I agree. Uh, Another thing that we actually do in this is speed round. You have to pick between one and another option I'll give you. Maybe you're gonna hate both, maybe you're gonna like both. So
Yeah.
we'll see about your personality. So the first one, Randy Johnson or Greg Maddox?
Randy Johnson.
I imagine that because of Mariners. He's a Mariners fan, right? So, but a bit of a bias there. I know that you play that when you were in New York. So you like more playing fast pitch or slow pitch softball?
Fast pitch.
Fast
For sure,
pitch.
yeah.
Yep. So he's part of the crew, the Venezuelan crew on that one.
Yeah.
Tennis or softball?
Softball.
All right.
Now, if
look
you
at-
ask me volleyball or softball, I'd say volleyball.
Okay, I'll do
Yeah.
better
Yeah,
research
yeah.
next time.
Yeah.
New York or Texas?
New York.
For sure. A New Yorker never is going to say against New York, right? And he's being interviewed by the Mets, right? So he has to say New York in this one. Hitting left or hitting righty?
Lefty.
Lefty.
Lefty feels more natural. I'm natural righty, but lefty just it feels more natural.
Plus, as I always tell you, you always get walks when you're hitting
That's
lefty,
true.
right? Any final words? Anything that you can say to the 44 subscribing, heading to 45? Imagine how many people that you can reach on this phenomenal channel.
Well, I mean, this is awesome that you do this. I'm not a guy that's always on Facebook or whatever, but I will watch your videos, because like you actually spend the time. This takes a lot of work to do this, and you could tell that you have passion for the game as well as softball, baseball as well as softball by taking all the time to do this. So I'm really happy that you're doing this. And I think other people have recognized that. And I think you got an award earlier this
Yeah,
season,
last
right?
year.
What was it, Mr. Baseball or
Exactly,
something?
Mr. Softball.
Totally.
Although it will be, Mr. Bay will be more cool, right?
Yeah. But I think you totally deserve it. I'm glad you're doing it, and keep it up.
Yeah. Thank you, Rohit. Thank you, guys. Salam.
All right.
What a cool interview. Very, very nice to have Rohit in the quote hot seat. Rohit is one of those few people that I can spend hours and hours talking about baseball. So if you happen to see him at the ballpark, make sure that you talk about that because you're going to enjoy deep knowledge he actually had and how analytical he is. Speaking of analyzing games, unfortunately, we don't have much to deep dive into it in terms of things that went well for the Mets. Definitely, we have pretty good first game, although some controversial calls, I'll say, actually kind of tainted a bit what we would have been split. Nonetheless, we should have hit better and capitalize other opportunities. We ended up losing in a walkaway fashion against the Brewers on a 9-8 game. We were actually materializing something good. We were leading the whole game in field four, one of our favorite fields. But like I said, that last inning proved to be catastrophic for the Mets, and we ended up losing that game. And when you're having that double header, sometimes the result of that first game might impact what you're going to be doing in the second game. And unfortunately, that happened to the Mets because in the second game, the Brewers just outperformed the Mets in every single aspect. They ended up beating us 14-4. It was not a run rule because we ran out of time, and nonetheless, we couldn't hit. And Banda was a phenomenal in the second game. He made the adjustments, and definitely our bats couldn't muster any runs offensively speaking. However, like I said, we're gonna aim to turn this ship around next week is against the Yankees, so we want to make sure that this trophy stay home. And for that, we'll leverage into all of our talent that shine nonetheless in this past Sunday in the likes of Alfredo Sardi, who went 4 for 6 with a run and 2 RBIs. Also, Michael Thiele, who went perfect 3 for 3 with a double, a triple, 2 RBIs, and a walk. Freddy Barraez, El Nikiti, he went 3 for 4 with a couple of runs and a couple of RBIs. And also Ian Contreras, I was very happy to see my pickable partner Ian going 2 for 4 with a run and a couple of RBIs, even including a double that he actually almost hit it to the fence. So we're gonna tap into that as well as the rest of the talent to the Mets to aim to claim our first sub of the season. Uh, and I don't know what you're expecting, your favorite section, the fan voice. So let's jump into that section right after this. See you there.
Dallas Cowboys banner, Rangers, and Mets, along with Lightning McQueen. You know where I'm at, your favorite section, the fan voice. Actually, I'm debating how much time to should allocate to this because I'm trying to keep this within 12 minutes, but interviews are taking a bunch of the time. I don't want to code those, so we'll see what you guys prefer. Hey, if you see me at the ballpark, let me know. Hey, I like more the fan voice. I want to see more live interviews. I will make the adjustments for every one of you. So because of those adjustments, so far we're keeping this short to two questions. The first one comes from Doggy Fresh. He asks, Leo, I love everything that you're doing when it comes to traveling with your kids and the family. Can you tell me, out of all the stadiums that you have visited so far, which one is your favorite? That's a pretty interesting one. Full disclosure, I've been in 18 out of 30, so I'm the second half at the spring 2025 season. My favorite stadium, no doubt about it, will be Wrigley Field. And I know location or facility wise, you might lean to some of the modern, more new stadiums, but to me, the atmosphere that you feel at Wrigley Field is unbearable. I mean, there's literally some magic in that stadium. I'm a big fan of going to Yankee Stadium, definitely the Giants Stadium. So the Panthers are pretty nice, but all in all, to me, Wrigley Field is by far the number one or the biggest one that I have visited so far. I haven't been in Fenway, so we'll see when I go to Boston. The second question comes from Grasshopper Abbey. He asks, "Hey Leo, I saw yeah you were celebrating your birthday the other day. So how many years do you have left until you use a senior bat?" I know those. This is a typical grasshopper Abby type of question. I'm 16 years left to be or matching your ability to use a senior bat. So hopefully I'll still healthy and I'll be taking that advantage from hitting wise. Definitely, I need those these days. So with that, we're coming to an end. Like I said, we're gonna be facing the Yankees on the New York City Cup. You don't want to miss that one. And also, I want to use my channel to do a small of a public announcement. If you saw one of my videos, I believe it was the week 3 recap in which I interview my dear friend Adriano Rodriguez. He firmly committed to make a son for the Shalom link, and he's asking for feedback on things that actually represent or can encompass what this link represents to you. So if you see him by, make sure that you actually drop him a message, send him a note, or speak with him for that matter on things that you can actually summarize what this league is all about because he's working hard on making that son. And I think it's going to be a huge success, but definitely all of our input will be phenomenal to construct something that can last over time. So thank you very much, guys. I appreciate all the time, all the subscription and watching us. And remember, not only watching the video, but going to the stadium and have the time of your life with your kiddos and your wife. This upcoming Sunday is going to be a whole New York blowout. So you don't want to miss that. So long.